Hey guys, welcome back. This is KD7 here, out with another video, and in this video I'm going to be showing you the pros and cons and all the facts you need to know about HTML, and to further on also to build your first HTML site or your first HTML website. So let's keep moving. So the first thing you want to know is that HTML, the entire full form of it is hypertext markup language, and let me break HTML down. Okay, let me just break those alphabets down. So HT is also called as hypertext, is where text with extraordinary features like formatting text or inserting images, inserting multimedia, and even links to other documents is possible under hypertext. And under markup or under M, you have detailed instructions for a certain format. So suppose you need to build up a building, so you will have all the instructions laid out and you'll be building that building in a certain format. So the process of taking ordinary text, putting in a few extra symbols such as proofreading symbols is what is markup. And finally we have L, which stands for language. So HTML is also another type of programming language, but remember that it is a markup language and not a scripting language, since it cannot imply or it cannot evaluate or validate any kind of web pages or based on whatever it finds. So HTML is something which cannot be only seen on computer screens, but it can also be on printers, fax machines, TVs, gaming consoles, digital watches, text-to-speech, and a lot of more devices like workstations, dumb terminals, network computers, handheld devices like mobiles, and much more. Now let me go to the pros or the advantages of HTML. So let's begin with the first one. Now HTML does not really need any kind of hi-fi software. You just need a text editor, like for example Notepad on Windows or text edit for Mac. So those are the simplest text editors you need. You don't need the internet for the same. As I just said, there aren't any special softwares required unless you want some help to increase the rate of your programming speed, and it can also be created on any hardware platform using any kind of text editor besides Microsoft Word or any other document editor. So you can't program HTML on Microsoft Word or Microsoft Excel, but Notepad or any other kind of integrated developed environments is the best. Now you can also work far away from your home, like a laptop for instance, and HTML also gives you a better concept or an understanding of the structure of how your page is and how it is going to work. Like for example, it's going to go from the top left corner to the bottom right corner. That is how the structure of your page would work. Now finding errors on HTML is pretty easy, and you can also work on HTML independently without purchasing any kind of licenses or anything like that. So it is easier than other programming language since it does not have any kind of calculations. Now as I'm speaking of calculations, sadly, or the cons of HTML are that it is not a programming language in the true sense. By what I mean is that no calculations can be done here. You cannot add, you cannot subtract, and a lot of those kind of calculations you can't even use it to display any kind of stamps or date stamps or any kind of timings. You cannot build interactive web pages with HTML, which is not very good. You'll be requiring something else along with HTML, and web pages cannot behave like an application and do not have their own interface. Now for going from one page to another page via HTML is called as a hyperlink. Now we'll be studying about hyperlinks further, but for using hyperlinks you need a trip to the server on each mouse click or on each keystroke, which is not very convenient all the time. So that is all the facts you need to know about HTML, including the pros and the cons. So that's it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.